Alright, I hope this is rolling. Yes. Hey everyone, I wanted to do a Q&A video and I asked you guys on my Instagram what you'd like to know about me. So we're gonna do like a Q&A, very personal. I'm gonna answer all of your questions. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so I'm just like scrolling through it and answering what catches my eyes. So let's start with the first one. Do you count your macros and how much deficit do you make? So first of all, I don't count calories and I don't count macronutrients. Here's why. The first thing that comes to my mind is it always gets you stuck into your health journey, because when you're going to count your calories and macro intake, you always feel like you're doing something good or you're doing something wrong. And I feel living a healthy lifestyle and eating healthy meals is about the feeling that you get after your meal. So we all know that like a salad is probably healthier than a burger, but if you really crave your burger, then you should eat it. And if you crave your salad, you should eat it. But like counting the calories that goes into both meals can be really the same, because if you fill your salad with so much healthy ingredients like quinoa, avocado, what goes into it as well, like a lot of veggies, maybe you put in some dressing, all these ingredients can go up to like maybe like 800 calories if you have like a good filled salad. But if you eat a burger, can maybe be 350 calories because it's like a small burger with a burger inside and some lettuce and like tomatoes or something. So the difference between the salad and the burger is that the burger can be lower in calories, but the burger won't satisfy you for such a long time, where the salad will fill you up for such a long time because there goes in like fiber and all of the good ingredients that your body will digest for a longer time. So like the energy you get from a salad will be so much better than the burger you eat. So it does not make sense to count calories, but there is one thing I would say about that, because when you want to lose weight or when you go to a certain goal of, you know, like getting into shape, it can be very handy to count calories to become knowledge about what goes into your body, what you can eat and what is not good for you. So yeah, I advise you, if you count the calories for a certain goal, like try to do that for like a certain week or like 2 weeks and then stop doing it, because yeah, otherwise it will become like very addictive, and that's not how you can create like a good lifestyle, because it's all about living with your intuition and going into what does my body need right now. I am so bad at answering short questions, but I hope this helps. Alright, is carbs going to make people gain weight? So no, because we need carbs in order to survive. Like our body need carbohydrates to get energy and to move ourselves and to feel healthy in our brains, and like all the functions in your body really thrive on carbs. So if you cut on carbs too much, it's like you go to a certain point that you feel so low in energy that you have like headaches or stomach pain. So you can, like for modeling, for example, I had a long time where I cut my carbs or like was very low on my carbs, but there was like a certain point that I felt just like so bad because I missed the carbohydrates in my diet. So yeah, I would not advise to cut your carbs. I would really... Oh, I gotta call. Alright, Marco called me and I always take the phone when he calls. It's just so sweet. How often do you eat out or take away? So I actually don't like order food, but if I have food outside, I always go to a restaurant. I don't know, it's just like I love cooking, and I love, like the thing is, when I go to a restaurant or order food, I always know that what I order, like in most cases, I can do it myself better. And it sounds so like, you know, I can do it better, but like I always feel like the things that I order are mostly like healthy things because I just like love it so much. Or like when I get a pizza or something, like a pizza is maybe an exception, because a pizza in a good restaurant at a good Italian is just like so good. So that would be something that I maybe order or like have when I am in a restaurant, like a really like a treat food. But yeah, mostly like the salads or like bowls that I order, I'm like, okay, I can do this maybe better. But yeah, it really depends on where I am. For example, if I'm in London, like you have so many good restaurants that do amazing takeaway that I'm like, okay. Or like this is really going to satisfy my craving because I know that I won't gonna make it the same as they do, if you know what I mean. Let's see. What gyms do you like in London? So I am working out at Third Space. I feel like it's so overpriced, but I really love a good gym. So yeah, as it's my work for modeling and because I just like want to feel so good, I want to have like all these good classes and stuff. I am willing to pay more, but I know there are like so many gyms in London. But yeah, Third Space is really my favorite. Are you engaged? No. I wish, no. If you haven't seen Marco yet in my videos, like go scroll to the vlog sections with all the traveling and stuff. Like I'm so in love with him, he's so in love with me, but we feel like it's too early to get engaged right now because I don't know, like you want to have something to look forward to, and if we're going to get married already, like it feels like we already passed through a big stage of life. Whereas we have just so much fun, and I feel like there's not going to be like a huge difference when you get married. But yeah, I don't know, like we're waiting a long time because we want to have like something to look forward to. Tips for a lean figure without a bulky look. My number one tip, like listen guys, my number one tip will be speed walking. And I have learned this from my fitness trainer, Marjolein from Models in Shape. Check her out, she's amazing. But yeah, I learned from her that if you're walking, like your leg's gonna be even like smaller, your hip's gonna be smaller, like you're gonna have like this super lean body without being bulky. So if you're doing a lot of weights and stuff, you can compensate that with walking. That will be my number one tip. I walk a lot and I love it so much. Just want to tell you how much I appreciate your what I eat in a day videos. Oh, you guys are so sweet. I really enjoy them too. Like if you haven't seen them yet, check out my Instagram. I did a 30-day challenge where I did like 30 days in a row of what I eat in a day, and yeah, I feel like it's just a good inspiration to look at what kind of meals I eat. So really check that out. I will also put like a link in the description so you can check it out. How to stay consistent with satisfying meals so I don't binge. So one of the things that I do with every meal that I eat, or at least I try to, is include all of the taste buds. So sweet, sour, bitter, umami, and sweet. By combining all of the taste buds, you will feel that you have just less cravings to something sweet or savory afterwards because you already included it in your big meal. So what I do besides the taste buds is varying a lot with texture. So for example, if you're making a salad, the lettuce or like the kale that you use can maybe a little bit like soft or crunchy, but with adding an avocado there is very soft. With adding croutons, which is very crunchy, or like a cracker that you like crumble over it, or nuts or seeds or roasted vegetables, like you combine all of these textures and you have to chew even better so you feel much more satisfied, and you won't be so likely to binge afterwards because you just feel like very okay and very full. So yeah, that really helped me in not binging or like trying to solve that. Do you do intensive training? If so, what? So I actually have to say that my training schedule is very flexible. Like I really was hard on myself of like 5 times training in the week and like doing walking and like doing all these things, and since I put the intention to just to feel good instead of looking good, I really mentioned that I really feel on the day itself like, okay, what does my body need? What kind of movement do I crave for? And sometimes when I'm out of motivation, I make a schedule for myself just to get myself to it instead of being very like in a lack of motivation. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do it like next week or like tomorrow. I don't feel like it, because yeah, you have to stick yourself to a routine in order to see results or feel good. But yeah, when I feel good, I just like be very flexible in my schedule. And to come to your question, do you do intensive training? So I vary it a lot in weight training and high intensity, but I minimize the amount of time of, if I do a high intensity training, I try to do like first 10 minutes of jump rope, then I do a 20-minute of weights, and then a 20-minute of high intensity, and then I slow it down again with a good stretch or something like that. So I don't do like an hour full of high intensity or like, you know, like so much in a row, because my hormones get very stuck of it. So yeah, I hope that answered your question. Sometimes I'm just like talking and not reacting to the real question, but yeah, I hope you get it. Advice for binge eating and overeating besides eating balanced meals. So come to the question that I answered before is, if you tried to vary in your textures, if you included all of the taste buds and you still feel like binging or overeating, you might be in a circle of restriction. This is like a loop, because it goes like this. You say to yourself, I cannot or I might not have this. It can be, say, a pizza. Like, I cannot have a pizza today. What goes into your mind is you feel like so guilty about even thinking about it. And because of the guilt, you translate it into like, I really want it so bad, that you're having it eventually, and then you're completely binging over it. You're like overeating the pizza because you're like, oh my god, this is like the one time that I get my pizza, because I don't want to have it the next day or the next week or the next month. So you like overcompensate your feeling of not having it in the first place. And that endlessly goes into even more guilt, and that goes to cycle over and over and over again. So that is so much due with emotions, like restricting yourself to have something. So for example, when I had a lot of binging and restriction, like the moment that I said to myself, I can have everything that I want. You might not believe that I did, but I did. And when you say to yourself, I allow myself everything to eat, I want to have all of my cravings, you just don't want it anymore. Like, you start with something and you feel satisfied and you're like, huh, yeah, I had this and it feels good. And then you don't binge again because you're not restricting yourself anymore. So take this into your mind. When you want to binge, say to yourself, from now on, I don't restrict on X, you know, the pizza, for example. I want to have it all. You might feel scared, you might feel like so out of control, but when you give yourself to it, you won't binge anymore. At least that was my experience, but in some cases it's very, very deep and it goes on for a long time. So when you feel that, like, really get some professional help. Try to talk about it with someone, or write down what you feel when you eat a meal. Like, I have so many tips on this. I should stop talking because I have like so many ideas for, you know, solving these kind of problems. I will do, but yeah, more about that later. But yeah, I feel like these are already some good tips to include. Okay, I'm gonna do one more because I have so many stories and I want to keep it a little bit shorter today. Modeling confidence tips for castings and shoots. Okay, so here is a little side story of what I already talked about. When you eat good foods, when you eat the right foods that you feel very comfortable with, you will feel comfortable. And for me, modeling mostly is all about feeling confident. When you don't feel confident, you just like fake that you're confident. But actually when you feel confident because you give so much good care to yourself and eat the right things and move in the right way, you'll be so confident on your castings. But yeah, that's like one thing. So for me, like the diet and workouts really help to stay confident. But if I don't feel like that and I have just like a shit day or like busy schedule, I really like shake all the things off before I go into a casting. I take a deep breath in and out. And I say to myself, I'm gonna rock this. I know I can do this. This client will love me. And I visualize myself going into that room as like a powerful woman. You can even visualize an animal that you really resonate with. For example, like my spirit animal is a tiger. I really visualize myself as a tiger going into that room and shaking it. Like, doing it and feeling just like so good. Even if you don't feel like it and you visualize it and you just like push yourself into that state of mind and your mindset of like feeling good, you will be confident and people will see it. Like they can't not see it if you feel that way and if you move that way. So that will be my tip. So like visualizing a spirit animal, feeling confident by eating good foods and moving in the right way and not overcompensating your diet or your movements. Just like having a fun time, as well as shoots. Like besides the castings, like if you have a shoot, like visualize yourself before you go to that shoot. Like how do I want to feel today? Like what is my intention for this day? I always say to myself, like I have good connection with the photographers, I have good connection with the team, I'm going to be open, I'm going to be willing to give my best today, and yeah, just to have fun, because like it's so nice to have a good shoot where you feel amazing and where you can give your all and have people like giving you compliments. Like take those in, like really, yeah, really be confident with your body and with you being in that moment, because it's like always so special. And when I think about moments that I really felt that way and really intentionally went to a shoot or a casting with this kind of mindset, I always remember it. I always remember like, hey, I was in that shoot or that casting and I just like felt such a powerful woman. And yeah, that really like resonates with everyone around you. So you will be successful in what you do. If it goes well or not, like you have like a good memory about it. Okay, for last, I want to have one. Oh, my hair is just like so weird. It grows so fast. I'm taking collagen and my hair grows like crazy. Like also my nails, I don't know if you can see it. They're so long. But I have one thing that I really want to discuss for the last question. How to accept 0 breast size and love your body. So I actually always had like a small breast. Like I don't know if you can see it right here. But yeah, I have very small boobies and I love them. I always thought like when I was 16 or 17, oh, my boobs maybe are gonna grow, but there was just like a point when I turned 18, I was like, oh, my boobs are still not growing, like maybe there's something wrong with me. I don't know, like maybe it comes when I get older, but yeah, mostly your breast stops growing when you're over 18. So when I turned over 18 and start seeing that my boobs weren't growing much more than I expected to, I just like looked to myself and I was like, yeah, this body is probably how it's supposed to be. Like my boobs my boobs are probably this size because it is just like fitting best with the rest of my body. And I always liked small boobs. Like I always saw people who had like big boobs, or like, you know, it was just always like such an unhandy thing in my head. Like, okay, if you're gonna working out, you have to carry so much weight in your breast, and like, I don't know, I just always felt like having small boobs and like wearing crop tops like this, like I always felt just so confident in them because it was just not hanging there, or like, yeah, I didn't have to put much effort into my boob area and wearing bras and everything. I just never wear bras. I always feel so uncomfortable when I wear them. Sometimes I do wear them if I have like a cute dress or something and you want to have like this line here. So these things I do wear, but yeah, I don't know, I just accepted my body the way I was. I was like, this is my body, I love it, and it's probably how it should be, so I rather accept it than just like doing something about it. Also never thought of getting implants because I felt it is so scary, and I just like, it scares the hell out of me to put in something in my body that is not supposed to be there. And I had heard so many horror stories that it goes into your body and it leaks, and oh my god, I don't want to think about it. So I can go on continuously with talking to all of these questions, with answering all of these questions. But for now, thank you so much for, you know, like asking all of these things. And yeah, I will post more of these Q&A videos because I feel like it's just so nice to talk about personal stuff. And all the things that I talked about were some of the things that I've really been going through the last couple of years of like accepting my body the way it is, of seeing my diet as something that really should give me energy and moving my body the way to feel good instead of looking good and all of those things. So if you're interested in these topics, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you haven't, I will continuously talk about these a lot more times, and I will record more videos because I feel like I'm into the inspirational vibe of creating more of it, because I'm just doing it. Sometimes I feel just so scared to record stuff, and I'm like, oh, people maybe not like it, or will people even turn this video on, because there is already so much up in the air. I have so much information that if it even might help one person, like, I'm the happiest girl in the world. So yeah, thank you so much for being here today with me, and yeah, like this video if you liked it. You would really help me with that, and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any video recommendations or ideas or things that you still struggle with, like, please don't hesitate to comment them in the questionnaire below. I will answer, and yeah, I'll see you next week, because I'm gonna keep myself consistent on YouTube every week. So see you next week, guys. Ciao!